CYPE-3D is able to design and analyze certain types of connections, joints for I sections and also for hollow structural sections. So in this video, we're gonna get to see how many of our connections get designed automatically and their results. And since the structure is going to be completed, we're going to obtain the final drawings for our model. So here in CYPE-3D, there is a specific joints menu in which we can ask to generate the connections. And if the bars that reach the node do it by the same way that any of the implemented types do, then the software will be able to solve them automatically. And when I say by the same way, there's a text that clarifies whether the bars which reach the node have to be either pinned or fixed, and if they need to be exactly orthogonal or not to be designed. So in our case, we have generated the connections. It has detected these nodes, and now we're going to run their design. So there's two ways to do it. Since our structure has already been analyzed, there's no need to repeat the analysis. Although if we wanted to repeat the analysis, there is a check that we can activate that says design of connections. If we do it in the analysis of the structure, the connections will also be designed. And now that this is our structure has been analyzed, there's another way to only run the design of the connections, and that would be here in design, joints and design. And we can choose to solve them welded or bolded, or solve specific nodes taking the find connection method. So in this case, since it's still structure, I want it to be this connections to be bolted. So let's run the design, and it's going to use those modules that we comment on I sections and hollow structural sections. And in a few seconds, we will have automatically designed most of the connections in this structure. Now that it has finished, we can come here and ask for the complete structure 3D view to see which connections have been automatically designed. We can here see a 3D view of the base plates, and then we see in some nodes the connections have been designed. The only connections that have not been designed, which are these nodes, the ones for the angle sections, because the software doesn't have a specific module for angle sections, and some other that have to do with this same bar, we will have to design in CYPE-Connect in future videos. But let's comment so far what has CYPE-3D automatically done for us. So coming back to the joints menu, we can edit any of the connections the software has already designed. Here we can see a closed 3D view of only the base plate, and we can ask for its code checks. So clicking here in code check, we will find a list of justification of the code check verification. These checks have to do with welding, of course, the bars also, and the plates. And the complete listing can be obtained right here. But let me show first some other results. So besides the code check report on the connection, we also have the automatic detailing. So by clicking here in detailing, we will obtain a full detailing of the connection, and in between those two options there's another one that is combining both of them. So if we click on this one first, it will display the detailing, it will list the parts that form the node, and then it will start with a summary of the code checks. Okay, So since the base plates have now been designed, we need to come back to the foundations and actually redesign, because if not, they're going to be hanging over the edges of our footings, previous footings. So now that we can see here the base plates, we're going to run it in the design of the foundation. And if I edit any of these footings now, we can see even in the previous detailing and in the 3D view that the base plate appears in the 3D. Let's see another example of another connection that the software has automatically designed. Let's click, for example, in this node that says type 3. This is more complex than the base plate, and same results that we can obtain. The code checks, the complete report with the detailing, and afterwards the parts. And the summary of the code checks. And I wanted to edit this one just to comment that even though the software automatically designs the connection for us, there's a little bit of editing that we can do, and that would be done using these pencil symbols right here on the left. So if you wanted to change any dimensions of any plate or any bolts or anything, we could do some editing, and it would be with these symbols. All right, now that we have most of the connections have been designed, except for these ones that we comment on in the angle sections, we're going to obtain the drawings for what we have so far. And for that, I want to first comment that here in the configuration menu, there is a specific option for drawings in which we can set the page format and complete the sizes. And also important to know here, configuration of peripherals. These are going to be the possibilities of printing after we obtain the drawings. So to ask for the drawings, we come here to the upper left corner and we find the drawing icon. And here we just have to click in add, and we're going to start, even though there are many types of automatic drawings, let's start commenting on the one with the 3D structure. So in this drawing, we're going to obtain a 3D view drawing, one view per each 2D view windows that we created in our model. We can set up the scale, we can ask for the sections to be drawn in real section, and we can ask for centering information like the section type, for example, and other things that we could have gone through. And we're just going to accept this and accept to see how fast it is to obtain these drawings of the full structure. So here I can ask for the detail of all the drawings, and if we zoom in, we can see here the 3D of the structure already with the joints applied. We asked for this section to appear, so it's telling us which section is which. Here is the 2D view of the roof, and this is the 2D view of the portal frame that we created when we were creating 2D view windows. All right, let's take a look at other drawings. For example, the foundation floor plan. For this, we could come to the configuration and ask to see the detailing of the foundation elements. And as for the reinforcement layout and the quantity summary, we can accept to see this other. So here in this other drawing, what we can expect is a view of the floor plan of the foundation. So each its footing with its dimensions, the type, the name of the node, and a detailing of the rebar, the summary of the and here we can also take a look at the detailing drawings for the footings. So for each type we can see a plane view and some side views. Here is also a table with the rebar. And here's also a drawing of the base plates. Now let's take a look at on the drawings from all the joints. Even though we could have printed their own individual drawing, we can ask here for drawing type joints and calculate the scale divisions according to every depending on the drawing. And we're going to click accept. Okay, to ask for the detail of all the drawings, we could zoom in and take a look at the detailing of each individual type of connection joint. Another thing that we haven't commented is that the software automatically chooses according to the scale that we have set, which is the appropriate format of the paper. But if we want to combine or set the drawings different, we can ask for here to have a new drawing. For example, I'm going to say in A0, and we could choose to move the details. And here in move object, we could, okay, move this one. I also want this one in the same paper, also this one. So there's the possibility to afterwards choose in which how we see the detailings, if in one paper or multiple individual papers. So there are some settings here to delete the empty the empty drawings, and we could continue if you wanted to place all in just one individual format. And most important, to print these, to have them and to be able to open them or further edit them in our CAD software, then we will have to click here in Print All, and we would have to choose the path in which we want to save it. For example, let's say in my desktop, and we can name this maybe Pergola, and we can have add all drawings. We can choose, I have here selected the WG, but just know that that was selected here when we were in the drawing selection. We could have chosen different peripherals, the XF, PDF format, and also one thing is that we are always working in the English version, but just know that you could be working in the software could be installed in one language, and you can choose the language for the reports and the drawings to be different than the installation language. So here we could choose a different language for the drawings. So here's the final look of all the drawings from our structure created with just a few clicks.